Welcome back. I'm excited for today's show. As you know, this week, like every week, well, the last 3 for sure, you've heard us talk about what's been going on in our country. Race has become the #1 issue. It wasn't impeachment, but that's by the clown that lives in the White House, hides behind his walls in his bunker that he says he just visits. We know that there's a lot going on. We have amazing actors and folks speaking out. They're being attacked by their friends on the right. Why? Because they stand for something, and they've dealt with this time and time again. Now, we've had Montel on our show this week. We had Eddie Clark on, who was a retired police officer who dealt with being a black police officer in the 80s. If you want to go back to that show, go back and hear what Eddie talks about. He apologized because he did not speak up in the 80s, and he hoped that he could be an act of change. But still, years later, we still deal with the same problems in this country. And now, more of us are speaking up than ever. Why the idiot tweets, we speak up, because he can only sit in his bunker and tweet in all caps. I don't care. I don't really like watching Law & Order, so why he keeps tweeting for me to watch freaking Law & Order, unless one of my guys that we interview on this show ends up on Law & Order, I'm not going to watch Law & Order. Stop telling me to do that. Unless he's trying to say something else. But why are we taking advice from a guy who attacks generals? Oh yes, war heroes. Oh yeah, Colin Powell was a bad general? Okay. General Mattis was a bad general? He brought Marines home. I think that's the problem that we have in our country, is we're too divided. So I decided to bring on an amazing actor. You've seen him. He's part of Tyler Perry's show, Ruthless, part of his amazing network. So I'm going to bring our friend on, Lenny Clark, and we're going to talk about a little bit of everything. We're going to talk about his show so you can make sure you're supporting it and watching it. And then we're going to give Lenny's opinion on what's going on. And boy, is there a lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's bring our guest on to the show. Boop, 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 boop. And Lenny, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
You know, I'm fired up, my friend. There's a lot going on in our country, and part of me is really excited to see it because it's a movement that I feel, as an old white dude, has needed to be done for years, is that everybody, I mean, it's confusing to me as a military guy because I've read the Constitution and it says something at the beginning like, we the people, all created equal. And growing up and having kids now, it really has come to light. I mean, I grew up in Orlando, Florida, just outside of Eatonville, Florida, which is one of the oldest black communities in America. Being in Florida, in Central Florida, we didn't see this Confederate flag crap that these yahoos fight for like it's still today. You know, I've been around law enforcement when they've misbehaved with some passengers who've been in my car. I've been pulled over because, you know, I was guilty of having black friends in Northern California. You know, that wonderful thing. You're like, dude, that's called every day.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's normal. Welcome.
More or less.
But, you know, racism in our country is at an all-time high, and it starts almost at the highest level. I will say at the top level, where even today, not today, but yesterday, Thursday, we had the president tweeting out that he was thankful for the National Guard for his walk through the park, but he thanked the SS. And I guess he was talking about the Secret Service, but you would think there's never a time that it's okay to use the initials SS to describe anything, unless you're filling out a roster for baseball, and SS stands for shortstop. But it doesn't. So, Lenny, let's jump into this. Obviously, you work for the great Tyler Perry. You're on, Ruthless. So let's talk about it. You're in New York City, right? That's where you're at, or are you?
No, I was 2 weeks ago. I moved to Atlanta. I'm closer to
in Atlanta.
Where we shoot now.
Oh, I love Atlanta, and the Atlanta mayor. She's a badass. She's like my freaking spirit.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Ooh, her 2 weeks ago on TV.
She's something else.
Oh
my gosh.
So let's talk.
Whenever she speaks, I'm like, yes, and
I'll do whatever she says.
You got it. I don't even care.
So what's it like? So what do you think? What's going on in Atlanta? Let's start with what Atlanta's like under these current conditions. Obviously, Atlanta is to me, I agree with what the mayor said. Atlanta, to me, is a hotbed. You got to think about it. The great Dr. Martin Luther King is from there. A lot of the civil rights movement has come through Atlanta. I mean, you even look at the rebuilding, and I don't want to call it, gentrification or whatever the hell they call it, but, transformation of so many local celebrities that Atlanta has, T.I., Ludacris, rebuilding a community that's amazing. Atlanta's one of my favorite cities in America to visit. But you see this division, and what's your thoughts on this? Obviously, you're a black man, duh. But what's your thoughts on what you're seeing out here? I mean, let's start with the good. Are you happy to see so many people standing up?
Yeah, it's about time. It's about time. If you gotta, I unfortunately have to crack some eggs to make an omelet, but like this is a long time coming, and it's darkest before the dawn, but the dawn is on the way. And it's funny, I left New York right when the rioting and crazy protests started. So, there were cop cars on fire outside of my apartment, not too the day before we drove down. And then being here, I haven't seen firsthand how things have been crazy. But what I do notice that was also happening in New York is that there's a lot of people, forgetting about the coronavirus, and not taking precautions, which, I'm like, how is this thing going to finally explode into the way and have the light shine in so we can actually get somewhere from this chaotic space that we've been living in for the past, oh my gosh, 3 months, I guess. And then, i.e., 400 years, like it's bonkers.
Yeah.
But I'd rather go through some turmoil to have change happen than sit in the same shitty space that we've been in since the start of this country, honestly.
So let me ask you. That's a great topic. So for the first time ever, I can tell you it's great to see so many people stand up for what are Americans. I hate making everything a color thing, right? It feels weird being a Caucasian guy talking about it too. Trust me, it's like this uncomfortable world to live in where you're like, I just don't want to offend anybody because that's
can't even say it.
No, you can't.
It's so hard to even talk about.
But I'm comfortable. You're a black man. There's black women. That's
call it what it is.
What it is, right?
Be uncomfortable talking about what's facts.
I just feel stupid saying African American because it's like, who the hell goes around? Irish American, Italian American. You sound stupid when you say that. You don't need to. You're born here. It doesn't matter what the color of your damn skin is. You should be treated right. Obviously, black people in America have never been treated accordingly. We dealt with the South. So let's start with that. You're in the South, and in this last week, the Confederate flag has become what it finally has become is the enemy. It stands for something that is hatred. I don't give a I don't care what it stands for standing up for whatever these. I mean,
I disagree. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's read what a bumpkin told me. Our friend.
Oh, this would be good.
Let's go with our bumpkin. So I posted something, folks, yesterday or a couple days ago on my Facebook page, and I talked about the fact that our military bases, Army bases, by the way, the Marine Corps does not name our bases after anybody who loses. That's just stupid. But we shouldn't have our Army bases, our almighty Army, named after generals who lost, trying to overthrow our country, our flag, and our president who was trying to abolish slavery. Oh, shocking. The South, they'll rise again or whatever they believe. So I said, it's about time. Take this stupid rag down that it stands for losing. It's like naming a base in Germany if you're in the German military after something Adolf Hitler or one of his loser-ass generals who killed 3 million people. Why would we do that? Well, I posted this, and I also gave some names of bases that we should run with. I put Colin Powell as one. I also called out NASCAR for waiting till 2020 to ban the Confederate flag. I don't know what they were waiting for, talk about jumping on the bandwagon. But this lovely human being wrote back to me, Eric, and he said, Eric, I love the flag commonly referred to as the Confederate flag. Okay, well, he loves it. Oh, he gets better, though. I can't make this up. I think it's beautiful. It certainly doesn't need to be banned. Also, this is almost my favorite part. Also, fighting for your home state in the war of northern aggression doesn't make you a racist.
Whoa. Northern aggression.
Well, that's what we're calling it.
Abolishing slavery and treating other human beings like human beings? That's aggression. That's so aggressive. Oh, spreading love and unity. That's so aggressive. No. Dumb. I'm sorry, dude. Whoever you are, the truth needs to slap you into sensibility.
Someone needs to slap him.
Wow.
Someone got to slap him. He go around saying that in person. He's not going to be a happy man.
Good luck with that. Exactly. Good luck with that.
Yeah, have fun with that. We'll be there with you. Tough guy. Keyboard commandos, right? Keyboard racists. And we're seeing a lot of that out there, right? I mean, there's more and more, not to take away from Black Lives Matter, but I've talked to more and more of my friends who are stepping up and standing out and standing on corners and protesting and going in front of law enforcement and seeing the reaction they get for protesting this. You know, it's not just if people are like, oh, law enforcement. This isn't about just the police. This is about everything in our country, equality and everything. It pisses me off as a sports fan that people will cheer for LeBron James, Michael Jordan. And for the most part, several years ago, people used to cheer, scream in the stands for number 7, Colin Kaepernick. Remember that? I mean, dude went to a Super Bowl and he was a freaking hero, right? He was the great
But
Colin
the second
Kaepernick.
you speak out, the second you say something about the injustices your people face, you're an enemy somehow. What? How does that make any sense? Oh, you're cool, but as soon as you start saying how proud of you, how proud of your blackness you are, or how much you want your people to not be subjugated to BS, oh, now you're, oh, no, we can't support that. That's what? That's insanity.
Yep.
Definition of insanity.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
But but Liddy, that's what so far I've seen. I mean, I was reading an article just this week. They apparently have released this. One of the 4 officers in Minneapolis was released on bail, and his attorney spoke out. Oh yeah, he's out. Shocking. Yeah, yeah, I know. Look this.
What was his bail set? I know.
$1 million. Guy was $1 million.
Wait, the biggest one?
All of them. They all had $1 million. So he's out. He's out, and his attorney is speaking out, and he is using. Mind you, there's 2 white guys and like an Asian dude and some other dude that are involved out of the 4. Well, this is the other white dude, the young dude, 4 days on the job. He is using his inexperience as his excuse for what happened. And I'm like, bullshit. You know, that man is saying, I can't breathe. We've all watched the video. Sorry, my friend, you don't. I mean, to even give people like this bail is bullshit. I mean, let's just call it like it is.
Yeah.
Let's just call it like it is. And the fact that then, in the same time...
As soon as I saw that bail, I was like, someone's going to get him out.
No, they're going to find it. Somebody's, probably with the Trump administration. They're like, here you go. Get out. Be fine.
Easy. $1 million, that's it?
That's it? I mean, the dude doesn't do that. He killed a man.
Right.
He killed a man. And still, here we are, another day. And let's talk. I mean, this is no disrespect to the Floyd family. Breonna Taylor's killers still roam the streets, not even locked up.
Sure.
Right? We have this going on throughout our country. And I bring that up, and I didn't even know who Breonna Taylor was until that came up. And I know in Georgia, I mean, you just recently moved there, but we all know what happened in Brunswick, Georgia, back in February, with probably the most racist town in the South I've ever seen an interview done, because they're interviewing black people, and them people ducking and shit. Like, I don't want people to see me on camera because, like, I'm afraid to walk down the street because of how racist they are here. And they want us to be like, well, he was suspicious. He was what? He was a black guy jogging? That's suspicious.
That's so suspicious.
I'm like, shit. I hate to see how they treat the New York Marathon. It's ridiculous. Like, you're going to go after people jogging? And I've watched that footage. So, here we are in America. And now you are on BET, right? You're an actor on BET, which has always been great, because MTV stopped playing music a long time ago. So if you want to get, good music, you got it, BET. And you work with, Tyler Perry, who he makes amazing movies. So, I mean, tell me what it's like in this atmosphere for you. Like, going back, obviously you've survived COVID, and now you're going in, and you guys are going to resume filming soon. And this is going to be, it's an issue you can't ignore. And obviously, Tyler is, he speaks out, he speaks his mind. And I'm sure you do too. I mean, let's get to the nitty gritty here. I mean, how do we go forward? Is this something that we should all be speaking out about? I mean, we look at the great writers.
I think so.
Who have been talking about anti-racist, right?
We need to be having these conversations. We need to be having these conversations. These uncomfortable conversations need to happen. And there needs to be civility. We need that's like front and center. Compassion, patience, and a willingness to change. A willingness to see the flaws and all and correct yourself. Like, if at your base you truly believe that your racist ways are the right way to go, justice is going to have to knock some sense into you. There's no other way. You're on the wrong side of the wave, and the wave is justice. So you could get yourself mowed over, which I don't recommend, because there's an easier way, and it's finding compassion, which all human beings have. You bury it away in your nonsense. You bury it away in your pride and this nonsense of superiority. No one is superior to anyone, period. And the fact that you want to have that kind of concept going on in your mind shows a weakness of something that you're not addressing within yourself. It has nothing to do with the next person. It's all your own shit. So if you're not willing to look in the mirror and be like, wait a second, what the hell's wrong with me? We're not going to be able to get past this nonsense, and you're just going to keep getting slapped upside your head until you take in the real. And the real is we all need each other. We all are here for each other. So if we can't pour into that shit, we're going to have a terrible existence, period. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love it.
And yeah, Tyler is springboarding that. Tyler is like, they have a comprehensive plan to continue shooting. He gives the underdogs chances. Like, this is the biggest role I have in my life. Like, I've never felt more taken care of in his company, on that production than, I mean, it rivals my family. You know what I mean? And if that just means to me, they are family because they look out for each other like family would. And I'm like, why can't we have this just universally? Why is that so hard? You know what I mean? Because it doesn't seem hard to me. It may be, step by step, may be complicated, but I'll take some complications for more love.
Yeah.
Any freaking day, any day. You know what I mean?
And I agree with you. I mean, we've seen, which I think is hilarious, is so many people angry at the Black Lives Matters movement, right? Because there's white people out there. Why aren't the white people saying all lives matter? And we're like, well, our lives are fine. Yes. Well, no shit. That's like a broad statement. All lives matter. Well, okay.
Duh.
Yeah. Like, if you need a hashtag to be told that, it's like being told to wash your hands, right? Or cover your face when you cough. Those are three things.
Why? What?
Yeah, this is like all lives matter. Well, no shit. Thanks for the broad statement. Yep, that's okay. Thank you. I don't need a hashtag behind that. But where do you see this? I mean, we've seen sports guys fired. Grant Napier in Sacramento, he got snarky with DeMarcus Cousins, who used to be a Sacramento King, and they have a history of not liking each other. And, he came back because DeMarcus came back and said, Black Lives Matter. And Grant Napier came back with all lives matter. Don't just make it what? And Grant didn't understand when he got fired. A lot of us were like, dude, dumb timing, bad, stupid statement. How many years have gone by with, our brothers and sisters in the black community being harassed by police, not getting paid equal to what their own are doing. I mean, if you look at the culture of the white folk, we don't even treat our women the right way. We don't even pay them equal to us. I mean, so what do you think we're going to let somebody else in here?
The other day.
Yeah. We barely give a shit about our own. Like, it took people speaking out and writing books, and now it took George Floyd losing his life for people to wake up. And why it is sad for George to lose his life, I think it's a beautiful thing to see so many people. When I was standing just 2 days ago, 3 days ago now, on a street corner with my sign, and I got heckled by stupid people driving by. It was the dumbest statement. Get a job. Shove your sign up your butt. I'm like, get a job, bro. I'm working right now. I own my own business. I got a whole bunch of employees. Don't worry about it. They good. It's called remote working. Wow. Stupid. It's called COVID-19. Why would you just drive by to say hateful stuff in front of young children? Because this was a peaceful protest.
And what do you get from that? What does that do for you? How does hate help you in any freaking way?
It makes you know what I mean?
I hate working out, and I have to do it. But I hate it. That's the only time my frustration for it compels me through the exercise. And then, guess what? There's a euphoric feeling that washes over me because I need to work out. But you spewing that nonsense towards someone else. Now you're making someone else pay from your own insecurity and inadequacy. What?
Yeah,
what?
But that's what they do. It's just this hatred. And I mean, I wish there was a way to fix it. I mean, we have TV, which is supposed to talk about these things, but everything's slanted, right? I mean, people are divided. They're divided about a Confederate flag. Like, give me a break. Like, how are we divided about that? You lost. You don't get your flag, doesn't get to rise again, ever, period. You lost. We don't recognize that. You have a problem that we recognize race has issues in our country, and we need to be united because we truly are. That's why I love seeing these streets. I love seeing the street painted Black Lives Matter in D.C. right across the street. I mean, that's beautiful. And it's good to see cities doing it across the country. And I love that because we need to do that because it sucks that it's 700 years. It took 700 years, but at least something's happening. And we've seen this through the years and watching it. Mine's all documentary based, right? I'm like stunned by seeing it. I wasn't alive in the 60s. I've studied Martin Luther King. I was made fun of in high school for reading about Malcolm X and geeking out on understanding Malcolm. Maybe a little bit because Denzel, and who doesn't love Denzel? I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh. Listen, he killed that role, by the way. Just had to say it to him. Like, he became Malcolm X.
Yeah.
For not,
Like I watched a documentary on Malcolm on HBO, and the whole time I'm like, damn, that's Malcolm, but he looks like Denzel. But wait a minute, that was Denzel. I was like, it's like, but I mean, Will Smith did the same thing with Ali, right?
He got robbed.
I mean, if you think about it, Will Smith looked a lot like Ali too. He really embraced the character.
Transformed.
But I mean, Denzel's one of those outspoken. I mean, but Denzel's had roles like Glory, right? I mean, the most
outspoken with his career, with his platform. Yep.
I mean, he won. He got an Oscar for the scene where he was he cried. I mean, probably one of the most intense scenes, and I was like this tall. This tall when I saw that.
I remember that was the first time I bawled during a movie. I think seeing that, like I was like, I was my young self, like, what is happening? This is wrong. What the hell? And the look on his face, and I just wanted to save him so badly. Yeah, that. Oh my gosh. So
and then
powerful.
You think about the time frame of when that was, and then you look, we're in 2020, and and we're making change. And I mean, you face way more racism than I ever have in my entire life, and you're probably much younger than me. And that speaks volumes for the fact that makes me very upset. And I know I told you before, but we both watched President Obama speak. I think it was about a week ago. And you didn't see it, but I did. I unfortunately made the mistake of watching it live and reading the comments. I think it was like one of the networks had it on. Don't worry, it wasn't Fox News. It was something else. But I was watching it, and it was the first time in my life I said something. And I've never said I'm not proud to be an American because I serve my country. And I'm a Marine, and I love America. And I've served with so many amazing folks that I just absolutely love them. And I don't even look at them for anything other than they're Marines. But when I'm sitting here, I was never so embarrassed to be a white person. And I'm telling you this because I want you to tell me either I was dead wrong or I was confused. I was embarrassed. I sat here at my computer, literally looking at a screen. I don't know why I'm like treating you like you're my priest and telling you my white woes, but here you go.
Hey, you got the right one. You got the right guy.
So I'm sitting here and I'm like, what the hell? There's people going on there going, he's not my president. Call him Barack Obama. He's not president. And I'm like, I'm typing back, y'all know once you earn the title president, it's like title Marine. I'm never going to lose it.
You're a Marine.
You're not going to take my title away from me. You want to take it from you're going to have a bad day. Yes, I'm old, but I still know how to use my friends. I mean, I'm inked up for a reason. No, but I mean, I saw the racism. And then the comments about the man's wife, and then the color of his skin. And they're all yelling the same thing. They're all the same person in common. They're all saying Trump 2020. And it just irked me because here we are. Yeah. We've got cities in embers. We've got, besides George Floyd, the list is gigantic. We've got Breonna Taylor's killer probably still walking the streets. But hey, this week we still have people pissed off because cops got taken off the air. Oh, and Live PD doesn't know why it got taken off the air. Oh, maybe because they have footage of a black man saying, I can't breathe on the ground in 2019. Yep. Oh, and the footage and the footage strangely has been destroyed.
Destroyed? Come on, guys. This is how insidious the road that the American slavery has literally created all this nonsense that we're in, and how insidious it was. They took slavery that wasn't as ridiculously psychologically, generationally destructive, and they made it that, and now we're living in the symptoms of it. So for you to feel like that, reading the comment section, that's the kind of compassion that is going to pull us out of this shit. That's the kind of feeling that needs to be had for all these knuckleheads saying Trump 2020 and all that other nonsense, not my president, blah, blah, blah. It's so easy to be divisive. It's so easy to be negative. It takes a strong and courageous heart to tell the truth, to be positive, to lift others up. It takes actual work. Anyone can say, oh, you this, you that, and call and name call. Anyone can say it. Kids are the best at it. You know what I mean? And they probably learned it from watching adults not being held accountable for what they say and think. You know what I mean? Like, we're in a time now where you can't just exist and treat life like it's an accident. No, you're going to have to make moves. Yeah. And if you're smart and aware and your heart is in the right place, I'm going to call it the right place, you'll see what side of history you should be on. And it is the side of justice. It is the side of truth. And truth is the only constant thing. So you can run all you want from it, but every dog has his day, baby. Yeah.
And we'll track it down. I mean, nowadays that's what it's at. We're at that point where we're no longer we have platforms. Hey, I have one, and I'm damn proud of this show because this show. I mean, just the other day, our staff got attacked for diversity. Some clown went on and attacked one of my producers and co-hosts and said, you don't have enough diversity. And we're laughing. I'm like, Montel was just on, like, yesterday. Day before was Eddie Clark. And I've had the Marine rapper TMR and Space Force, which are 3 brothers that have been on my show countless times. We're all Marines. Well, we're all vets. TMR's a Marine. And not that I'm going around like, it made me feel bad because I'm like telling my team, I'm like, because they're like, let's respond. And I'm like, no, I make fun of people who go around telling me how many Asian, black, freaking gay, lesbian, transgender friends they have because I don't look at my friends by their, nobody does. Oh, well, if you don't look that way. Does that mean I don't? No. That means I support what's going on right now. I support Black Lives Matter because it does. Because why for 700 years has it gone ignored? Why do we not give a shit? Why do we still elect people who don't talk about it? Because we have dinosaurs who sit in D.C. And here I am, an old white guy who's pissed off about it because I got kids who don't look this way, see this way, feel this way. They weren't raised that way. And I'm sick of the excuse, I was raised racist. You know, I can't help it. I'm like, you can't fix your shit?
Help it. You never tried. You never tried. You were never You never tried, and you were never tried.
No, I won't. It's just you laugh when you see some of like I don't even like I chuckle when I hear some of the stupid comments that come out to almost recognize racism in the country. Like I didn't know people won't go see movies. Like I've read people won't go see movies, watch shows. I've read comments, even BET is a victim of this, where people want to block it from their... How do I block it? I'm like, holy crap. You know what racist your ass has to be to call Comcast and be like, Ed, I don't want Univision, and I don't want BET on my TV. Get them people over here, right? You got to be like...
Wow.
You fly the Confederate flag in your yard for sure. You're probably married to your cousin, so, that's... that's the South, right? I mean... But, so I don't mean to go off on this tangent with you, my friend. I know we're just in an interesting time, and this is why I want this dialogue, right? Because I think so many people look for a light, for somebody to have a difficult conversation, and we see so much of it, right? So let's talk, and then we're going to talk about your show before we go. And you got some good time? I'm not taking too much.
Oh, yeah, no, we're good.
So
we can go all day, man. I'm loving this.
So I love this topic, as you can tell. Yeah, come on. A guy with a goose shirt on is having a great conversation.
You got the goose on the shirt.
The goose. So let's talk about this. There's been a lot of talk of the difference between protesters, rioters, and looters. And I don't get this whole difference why we need to consistently have this argument. But there's a big difference between peaceful protesters and people who are looting and breaking shit, criminal acts. There's a big difference, and people are like, well, Black Lives Matter is behind that. I'm like,
are we?
I'm like, really? Are you sure?
Are they?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Are you just following, the leader and not really doing the homework? It's unfortunate that there are people taken away from the movement with the nonsense. Yeah. But we can't. Seriously, you can't just all of a sudden. Oh, well, I was gonna, support you guys, but the looters changed my mind. No, that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the looters changed your mind? Well, that's enough for you to not jump on this cause that's saving people's fucking lives? Like, what? You know what I mean? Property is more important than bodies.
Always.
Good. See, there you go. Whoa, you need to be checked on that. What?
Because people don't get it. They don't understand. I mean, it's the same people who are pissed that the Confederate flag's gone. These are the people who are pissed that we're asking for statues to be dropped. I mean, we live in a time which I've never thought in my life that we would live in, but we've got generals. We've got generals being attacked. We've got people. We have peaceful protesters being gassed across the street from the White House.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put that. We've all seen it, and we've got every creed and color standing on these lines protesting, and yet people want to tell us we're wrong, and people are singling out those white people. Why are they doing it? They have a motive. Oh, did you say something racist? Hey, I'll be the first person, and I said it on my show, and I'll say it again. I've made stupid statements in my past life years ago. They were wrong. I'm the first person, and I've apologized for my actions. But the one thing I'm not going to do is be held against stupid shit I said a long time ago. I'll own it, but I'll fall on my sword now and stand there like I did just the other day, and I'll continue doing it. I'll continue having this show with guests like you and Montel to continue coming onto our show until we fix this effing problem, because it's not going to go away. It's not going to be swept under the rug. It's a
We
problem.
got to face it head on. Yeah.
And we've ignored it for
Head
far
on.
too many years because you see it
Yeah.
when people judge Tyler Perry or anybody, and it becomes judged off of
Yeah.
always followed by a skin color, and it's an issue.
Yeah.
And it's a huge issue.
It's so easy to do. Yeah, it's been
It
it's been
is.
taught for so long that it's become a disease and a disorder that people will fight to the death to defend it. That's crazy to me. Fight to the death to defend your racist and divisive ways. That doesn't make if we're not fighting for unification, I don't think that's a fight worth having. Seriously, because my life is tremendously better when I place myself in a position to help others free themselves, like having Tyler helped me free myself with this role that I have. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm in another stratosphere. And I'm like, I don't need that much. I'm a minimalist. I went to India and studied yoga for a month. And I came back to New York. I was like, I can't live here anymore. This is too much for me. And then I realized, like, I don't need much. But I feel like in my lifetime, if I'm lucky and fortunate, I'm going to have a lot more than I ever would need. So I need to be able to put other people in places that they can free themselves. Because I can't be the only one feeling like this. This is not fair. You know what I mean? There's no reason. So now I'm like, I want my version of what Tyler has. He roots and goes for the underdog, gives people a chance, and allows them to spread their wings. And my dude, I am flapping away right now, and I'm sending the ladder down so people can come through and join me. They can't be up here by myself. My life is not worth shit if I'm not hooking my people up. You know what I mean?
I love it.
So let's go. You know?
Oh, I love that you said that because I'm a big advocate of when you reach a certain plateau, you send the rope back down, the elevator back down, or whatever, escalator, elevator, rope, whatever the hell you have. You send it down so people have a chance to come back. You know, you just want people to be where you're at, and I think we need more like thinkers to that instead of everybody's always divide and conquer, and that doesn't do anything. We have to be united. And yeah, there's a lot of bad things in our history. Now, you're an actor, so I'm going to ask you the question.
Sure.
There's been movies removed from streaming. Some of them are considered classics. Let's talk about Gone with the Wind. We're talking about why we're picking on the South. Now, Gone with the Wind to me seems to be interesting, and I actually disagree with that particular movie being removed. Yes, it's got racism in it, but two of the actresses are still alive. Do you know? One of them is 104. I forget her. Unfortunately, her name is. It's a problem with doing this without having my notes. The actress, she turns 104 July 1st. So,
wow.
And she's one of the black actresses in the movie, so one of the oldest.
She's not the one who won the Oscar, was she?
Yeah, she is. So
Hattie?
Hattie's still alive. Yeah, you're right. So she's still alive.
Wow.
104. I mean, they take this movie off, which I think it has so much history behind it. Now, I get Django. Okay, Django. Django was...
Yeah, that's just...
That was like an N-word fest that I was like...
obsession with race and that word and the N-word.
Oh my God. And I'm a huge Tarantino fan. I love his movies. I think he's an amazing director. But Django was very hard for me to stomach. I mean, don't mind the F word. Obviously, I was in the military. And you can't watch a Samuel... I think the only movie Samuel L's ever been in that he doesn't drop it is like Star Wars, where he's not like...
yeah, that's it. That is it.
I wanted to see him jump. Mother effer! Come me. It would have made it better, right? But, so they see Django, and I kind of go, okay, that movie made me uncomfortable because, hearing Leonardo DiCaprio, who I think is an amazing actor, and hearing, even Don Johnson use this word that to me is... it's a word that we don't use. It's like, you want to get your teeth kicked in? Go ahead, use it. I mean, but my son has. He's a diehard music fiend, like his dad, so he listens to music.
And it's all in.
He likes, he hears me listen to Mobb Deep. I mean, I'm aging myself here. Like, Mobb Deep, I was raised on Run DMC. The Beastie Boys were, obviously, a white guy. But no, the Beastie Boys, Def Jam, LL. I mean, you listen to any rap music, and I get it's rap music. It's not my thing, right? But, I mean, it's my music, but I don't get it. But I understand where it comes from because the way hip-hop was created in the urban sprawls, it's much like the NBA, right? It's created in a different feel where you talk about controversy, you talk about your problems by singing. Instead of getting in trouble, you put this together with rhythm and lyrics and shit that we've all never heard before and really brought it out to most of the Caucasian race out in the suburbs who were like, what? 'Cause, I mean, even the Beastie Boys were controversial, right? They're like, what are three Jewish kids white Jewish kids rapping about with like Run DMC. What's those guys, right? And you look at it, and then you see music go up. So I laugh because my kid's 13, and he's listening to Beastie Boys. He's asking me questions that goes back to '96, talking about Pac and Biggie, right? And those are weird conversations to have with your kid, where you're just like, to me, like Pac was my music. I mean, the dude was he was a poet. He's an artist of his times. I mean, what he talked about. I mean, if Pac was alive today, I just said this to a buddy of mine. I was like, could you imagine if he was alive today? Holy crap, that man would be
as radical as he was. Man, listen,
that dude would have been trying to climb in the wall at the White House. He was gonna go whoop somebody's ass. You know that.
He might have been dropped from a Halo mission, dropped from the sky.
He would have been. He would have been like, "What? Where's he at? Come here in your rose garden, telling me you want to go for a walk and hold a Bible in your hand, you fake ass."
Oh my.
God. Man. But,
Yeah,
but that's what we live in. So I mean, let me ask you this, and it deals with music. I love music, and I ask a lot of our guests on our show. You think music has a lot that helps us get through a lot of our trying times? I think music unifies us.
Oh, absolutely. Music is a release. Music is a stress valve. It's like, you're about to blow up. You put on a certain song, and it calms the beast inside. And the beast inside wouldn't be such a beast if the atrocities that humans seem to love to do to each other weren't constantly happening. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a double-edged sword. It's, catch-22 kind of thing. Like, we need music for releasing, but why do we need to release?
Yeah,
because people are wilding out on each other. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, we wouldn't have all this great music if it wasn't for this, people being held down. But I challenge that though at the same time, because I feel like humans can exist in a kind of utopia if we decide the yang of the yin or the yin of the yang, the negative side. We decide what that is. We can decide how bad the bad gets. We could possibly, before this planet, kills us all off, we could explore the universe. We could develop technologies to do all the. I think there's no such thing as impossible with human beings. We just haven't decided and discovered it yet. But we have to let go of all this BS that's keeping us divided, keeping us from unlocking how beautiful our minds are. And and music is one of the beautiful things that come from our experience. So we need it.
I love music because to me, music gets us through these dark times. You're right about if the planet doesn't kill us, I think we'll probably kill ourselves. The fact that I read that somebody who's in the White House currently wants us to be on the moon and be colonized by 2024, that's the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time.
What is that? Why would you? Why? What the heck? We haven't even figured shit out here yet. What do you want to? You want to go somewhere else and spread our nonsense over there? No, son. We're wilding out.
We can. Well, I mean, and I say we, but I think for the first time that I've seen more unity than I've ever seen in my life in the last few weeks. I mean, there is everybody's standing up for each other now, for the most part, except for people who wear red MAGA hats. They seem to just live in this blinders on world.
That's the perfect way to put it. They're like this and they're like that.
And I don't get it.
But their mouths are not covered, so they're just blah, 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 blah.
It's just weird because we talked about the mayor of Atlanta at the start of the show, and I'm a huge fan of hers. And when she got up and said it, it cracked me up as a father, just listening to her as a mother, where she's like, the first thing I did when I heard this was happening, she's like, as you all know, I have a 19-year-old son, and I called his ass up. I said, boy, where are you at? And he said, I'm out. She said, get your black ass home. You do not belong out tonight. And I started laughing because she became so normal, right? But what did people turn around and do? They became hateful and said, ooh, she's running for office. I'm like, no, that was a mama comment. That was a mom who knows. I mean, Magic Johnson said it best the day before she said that. Magic Johnson said, everybody knows who I am in LA. I'm Magic Johnson. Mm-hmm. He said, but nobody knows my kids. And he says his boys get pulled over. His boys, his sons. The great Magic Johnson, one of the greatest basketball players of our time.
Ever.
Dude crossed so many lines. And him and Larry Bird, right? I mean, remember how that caused controversy? Jesus.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Larry Bird, it was like, and it wasn't even a black or white thing. It was two amazing basketball players who loved each other.
Phenomenal.
I mean, you saw it in Last Dance with Jordan and Magic and Bird playing around with each other. Like, I mean, that's why I love hoop, because hoop truly unifies. It's great to see LeBron, and then I don't know if you're a Dame. That
just makes you happy.
Yeah, but did you listen to Dame? I don't know if you follow Dame Lillard. If you're not, I'll slack it to you. I'll put it in your Skype after this. Dame Lillard from the Portland Trailblazers dropped this just freaking oh my Lord, I don't even know what to call it besides heat. This rap,
Mm.
just talking about what's going on in our country, and it's good because I love the NBA because you got guys like Steve Kerr speaking up, and you know the NBA's always been like, we're going to talk about the things that make Americans uncomfortable. We're going to talk about it because you know you got to think about basketball. It's crossed all lines, right? It went from an all-white sport, and now it's like you don't even look at that. We got dudes from other countries like Dirk Nowitzki and that young kid Luka Doncic, and
Exactly.
you know you've got
And we got women in the game now. You know what I mean? Like
badass chicks. Oh yeah,
exactly, killing it.
Oh,
destroy me.
oh.
Anything.
Sabrina, I can never say Sabrina's last name. She was just drafted she was the first pick by the New York Liberty. That the girl who went to Oregon and she was mentored by Kobe. That girl got the mama mentality. Like she owns the NCAA record for both men and women for scoring. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing. See,
Yeah.
Why would you want to limit anything? Like I want to see excellence in my lifetime. All colors, all versions, human excellence. That's all I'm interested in.
But people,
this other nonsense is such a distraction because we have unlocking to do. We need to unlock this magnificent thing called the human body, human spirit, human mind. We need to unlock it. Now,
we are beautiful people. We are beautiful people that spend too much time pointing fingers and wanting what other people have or destroying what other people have because how dare they work hard and get it. And I know that comes from everything, man. So before we go, let's talk to you about your show. Let's kind of decompress it.
We going in. We're going in over here.
You're over here like, damn, I didn't know when I signed up to go on this show. I was signing up to freaking. We gotta go.
I needed this. Oh my gosh, I needed this.
I'm gonna get your number now. I'll be like, hey, can I vent? I gotta vent. I need to vent.
By all means, I got you. We need to vent. Let's go.
We need to vent. I mean, we need to. I mean, it's like every week. I feel almost every day I have to vent. I mean, it's just so. Sometimes it's hard, man. But let's talk about your show. Obviously, you're on Ruthless, so that's
Yes, sir.
Pretty badass.
What's interesting about this show is that I am the opposite of my character. I play this guy named Daikon Wright, who is the general of the compound. He's the right-hand man to the leader. And I am, like the name says, I'm a bastard on this show. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm going to say our leaders influenced a lot of the energy I put into this character because I'm a peace-loving person. But this guy, Daikon, my goodness, you hate to love him and love to hate him. Like it's one of those.
Yeah.
He's like the Joker. He's like the Joker. He's like if Morpheus was as evil or was evil like Agent Smith in The Matrix. He is Morpheus, the evil version, walking around with his hands behind his back, dressed in all black, constantly in everybody's business, constantly checking people and constantly trying to take somebody down. Craziness. Yeah. Too much fun.
So how do you prepare for this? I mean, besides probably just reading the president's tweet every morning, do you just mimic him?
Yeah.
You just walk around and go, if I was in the Trump administration, I would behave this way. No, just kidding. I mean, how do you prepare for a role like that? You seem like, number one, talked about going to India and studying yoga. Clearly, you understand what's going on in the world and you have a grasp. How do you channel somebody who's, I ask of any actor of this, how do you go from what you clearly are as a great dude who's fun to talk to, smile, you can see you're very authentic and stand behind what you believe. How do you become somebody that's basically evil? I mean, that's hard. It's got to be hard on your brain to switch from good to evil.
I look at it in the sense of people who do dastardly things, do terrible things, don't think they're being criminals, don't think they're being terrible. They don't see themselves as being wrong or being evil. So he's just operating on his belief system. And unfortunately, his belief system is so skewed and so disastrous that he allows himself to act the way he acts. So I let the evidence, everything you need to know as an actor is right there on the page. It's right there on the page. And it's you're the biggest question to ask yourself anytime you're doing anything is why did I say this in here? Why did I say this and not there? What's going on, in my world that allows me to justify this action here? And then you just use your imagination for the rest of it. And anger is the first thing that, people are taught to suppress, right? Acting forces you to uncover the things that you're taught to suppress the most. So during my acting training, anger came up the most because I can't be an angry black man. I can't afford to allow my anger and my emotions to get the best of me because I can pay the ultimate price for it, right? So I was taught to suppress that. And when acting comes up, the last thing you want to do is be nice. Even if your character is a nice person, nice isn't interesting necessarily.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to find a way to tweak your niceness to make it interesting. But for evil people, it's all right there. So you could just let it fly. So I kind of took out my frustrations on my castmates, essentially.
That's good. I mean, I guess you have to do that, right?
Yeah. Beautiful thing is we all love each other. So it was like, listen, I got to do this thing. You know I love you, right? Okay, cool. And then I beat him up or something.
You're like, hold on, I got to kick your ass. I'll be right back. That's what we're going to do.
Trust
me. That's funny you say that because they were talking about, I'm a huge Training Day fan. Obviously, in case you haven't figured out, I love anything Denzel Washington does. I'm a huge Denzel.
Listen, you and me both, brother. My goodness.
I love Denzel. Right. So funny story.
I saw him on Broadway once.
Oh, did you? I have a Denzel story.
He exploded onto the stage. He filled the entire space with his aura, his energy. Dude, I'm like in the rafters, and I felt like he was right in front of me. Mm. I've never felt that kind of energy before. So I'm like, I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. Okay. I want my version of that. That's amazing.
He's so humble. So I have my story of meeting. I met the man accidentally. I'm from Northern California.
Nice.
So I'm from
Folsom,
California. Johnny Cash made us famous. Also the prison where Rick James went to prison, and the Menendez brothers. If you want stupid history, I'll just give it to him. Yeah. Super freak, baby. But I was at a sect. There was one of these bad wannabe NFL football leagues going on at the time. I forget. There's been so many bad wannabe leagues. But one of Denzel's sons played football. Well, plays football.
Yeah. The one who's actually a movie star now.
Yeah. So
David.
Right? It's funny, right? David. Yeah. So we were at this game. We were at this in Sacramento, and I was on the sidelines. I was visiting a friend who gave me a cool pass. It was like, oh, you can go roam by the field. Nobody cares. So I'm sitting there, I'm minding my own business, and I'm down kind of in the back of the end zone, kind of just kicking it, leaning. Mm-hmm. And I hear this guy next to me, and he's just like hat, hoodie, just a dude talking to another dude, and we're just kind of sitting there, and we both have, or like this. Just, here I am. Yeah. I think I'm fresh out of the Corps, just a couple years out of the Corps, and I'm like sitting here, and we're just bullshitting. My brain's like, that voice. It's like, and I was about ready to say, dude, you know whose voice you sound like you have? I didn't need to because I kind of walked over and I was like, hey, we've been chatting for a couple minutes. What's your, I'm Eric.
Yeah.
And Denzel turned over. He's like, Denzel. I'm like, I fanboyed. I did. I'm not going to lie. I
was about to say, how could you not?
I was like,
how could you not?
He said Denzel like I didn't know him. I'm like, oh. I stopped. I started pointing to imaginary people. Like, he said Denzel. Like, I don't know who he is. Like, he said it with that smile that Denzel had. Like, you're just like, bro, I know who you are. I'm like, dude. I'm like, let me tell you my story. I'm like, one of the first movies I ever watched that I can remember you in was Glory. I'm like, it's a scene that really, actually, movie awakened me. Like, watching that and Mississippi Burning, two amazing movies from the 80s that really touched on things I didn't know about. I mean, I just wasn't raised around it to know about it. It's not my parents' fault. You have to educate yourself. Knowledge is power. We've always been told that, and there's so many people out there, I think, to educate yourself. Pick up a book. Turn on, Netflix has done an amazing job bringing what's currently going on in our country and bringing it forward. So you see this isn't something new, that police brutality and hatred towards the black culture has been around for hundreds of years. This isn't new. It's not like it just woke up. And and there's so many self-righteous people out there. There's people who, even our show has been accused of no diversity. You don't have diversity. I'm like, good God. Diversity, I pride myself in it. I'm like, yes, I'm sorry. I'm a white guy who hosts a show, but I'm damn well that I always have women on my show. Everybody on my production team except one person is female. I'm like, the company I co-own is co-owned by my wife. She's the CEO of the damn company. Don't tell me diversity. I don't care about it. Trust me. I don't go around and bundle my friends under their color, their skin, or religion. I don't do that. But my show, I'm damn sure I give everybody a voice, and I don't care what side they lean politically, but we're all going to talk about fixing problems in America. If you're a race hater, you're not coming on my show. That's just not how it is. But, I tell people, be anti-racist, because if you sit in the middle and go, well, I'm no racist, you're either racist or you're anti-racist. You can't just sit in the middle and be like, oh, I'm just gonna,
You can't straddle the fence. No.
I'm just
You
gonna.
don't get that. You don't get that opportunity.
No,
you don't
no,
get that. No. Pick a side so we
Yeah.
know who you are. Don't hide.
Yeah. Hassan Bashan
You know what I mean?
said that on his show this past Sunday. I look forward to what he says this Sunday.
Yeah.
He said, we sat on the sidelines for too long. People sit here and we watched. How many people went over and stopped those cops from being on George Floyd? All the people filmed it.
Yeah.
Nobody got out of their damn car, did anything. And it starts with those 3 officers who knew better. They were right there.
Exactly.
They could have done something. But then it goes further to the people who stopped and watched or drove by in their cars. How many times have people done that? When you don't...
Yeah.
It's like Montel Williams was on our show on Tuesday, and Montel said this.
Mhm.
He said, just like that adage that we've learned since 9/11, if you see something, say something.
Say something.
Law
Yeah.
enforcement does it, but it's now our job. We've got to speak up. We can no longer be afraid to go to these public servants and say, look, dude, the person's saying they can't breathe. There's other ways to restrain somebody. If you need help, call for backup, brother. I'll help you. I'll stay right here.
Now, how could you possibly need help when the guy's on his chest with his arms behind his back, handcuffed?
Yeah.
I've when I sleep on my chest, it's hard to breathe.
Right?
No one's on my back.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you guys literally justified a homicide. That's it, and that's it. That's it.
But hey, like I said,
it's disgusting.
just 24 hours ago or 48 hours ago, they've let one of those officers is out. He posted $1 million bail. They all have $1 million bail. They all have the same charges, all of them. And he was able, for some reason, but again, this goes back. Breonna Taylor's killers still roam the street. I mean,
still roaming. Yeah.
we live in an awkward time. But my friend Lenny, I thank you so much for you coming on the show. And I know we went really long, but this is so.
Let's go.
It's a conversation we have to have. I'd love to have you back on
Yes.
whenever you have time. I know you have filming coming up. Obviously, you have a life, and you probably
Yes,
don't
sir.
want to spend it being on To The Point all the time.
Listen, we can go. Listen, I've been needing this kind of conversation. These kinds of conversations need to keep happening, and as long as we can have a dialogue and we can find solutions, I'm always game, because this is a beautiful way to vent, and it's also a beautiful way to challenge the ridiculous status quo. It's not good enough. It's nowhere near good enough, and we need more compassionate people like you doing this. So thank you.
That's how we have to educate, my friend. That's why
Yes,
I'm
sir.
here. That's why I want you on the show whenever you're welcome to come on, so we can have dialogue, so we can get people to go, holy shit, if they could talk about it, trust me. I'm just a simple dude. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a friend.
Yes.
I love
You can
people.
do it too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can do it too. It's not
Yeah.
hard. It takes very little effort to not hate. You actually sleep really
Yes.
well. It's really easy. It's not rocket science. It's like people, it's just like hate after hate. It's like, you know what adds to funniness in this month is not only are we dealing with racism in our country, but it's also Pride Month. So you get the extra dial in of hate in America, right? Like they're like,
Yeah.
not only are black people angry, but damn it, Margaret, the gay people are out again. And you're just like, oh, Jesus. Oh, you people just never going to be
I got
happy.
a laundry list of things to hate. Like what?
Like,
What is?
you just,
What's the basis?
it's like you just sit at home like, what are we going to hate today? It's like, dude,
Yeah,
I don't
you
have that
just
time.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm the guy who wakes up and goes, I'm going to put a goose shirt on today. I mean, this is the shit I think about. I mean, but anyways, my friend, we've had fun. This is fun.
Yes, this is definitely fun.
So I want to thank you for coming in. People can tune in. Are your episodes streaming currently? So if they go to...
Yes, we're halfway through the season. We got 12 episodes up on BET Plus right now.
Sweet.
And hold your horses, or hold your what's the thing? Brace yourself. That's
Brace
what
yourself.
I'm trying to say. Because it's a crazy show. So yeah.
I can't wait. So go out, watch it on BET. See you on there. Maybe we'll do a giveaway. Maybe you can sign some headshots and we'll give them away.
Hey, that'd be dope. I'm
You wanna do
game.
that?
I'm
Cool.
so game.
I
Yeah.
love it. See, I always come up with crazy ideas, and some people are like, no. But, dude, you're doing big things.
Listen,
I'm a fan of the
crazier
show.
the idea, the more I'm like, let's go. The crazier the idea, the more I'm like, yeah. Let's do that.
I started watching this show like during the quarantine. It came to me as a recommendation for a friend. Like the second week of quarantine, because I took my family to the mountains just to get away from this craziness because it's lunatic.
Understandably so, yeah.
And I was like, what can we watch? And I said, I want something a little different, right? And somebody suggested Ruthless, and I was like, this is dope. I liked it. And then, my team was like, do you want to interview? I was like, hell yeah. Dude, you are, bro. You are kind of twisted in that show. Like, I didn't know if I was going to get, like, one of my old officers from the military was going to show up and be like, this is how we're going to do the interview. Like, I was like, hopefully he's not going to be in character. Be fucking
Yeah, no.
I don't want to get.
That guy scares the hell out of me. He scares the hell out of me.
I was like, is Lenny going to yell at me for like the whole time I interview him? No, okay, good. Thank God you're not mean like your character. But no, go check out Ruthless. It's worth it. You can see it on BET. 12 episodes in. I'm telling you, you're going to get to that last episode and you're going to be like, damn it, why are there no more right now? So that's how you get. Trust me, that's how I get. I'm like you start counting to the last episode, you're like, shit, should I slow down? Maybe they'll.
Yeah. That's
so it's good that you guys are going to start filming again. We need you to start filming. We need TV. Tell Tyler about that. We should get Tyler on the show. Yeah, that's a big ask. Let's just get the man on.
Amazing.
Man, we should do it.
He's fun too. He's fun, especially with interviews. He has a ball. So
we should see if he'd be willing to help a lowly guy like me. Just bring him on here. Tell him we just want to talk to him.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's that kind of guy.
I love that dude. Just everything about him. I've read so much about him. His movies crack me up just because he just has good.
He goes
humor.
in. He just does.
He just goes in. He doesn't care who he offends. And I love what you said. I mean, in closing, the biggest thing I can take away is that he loves an underdog and finding those diamonds in the rough and turning them into rock stars. Like you, my friend. You are truly one of those amazing people who you're changing the world, my friend. And we appreciate you because we need more dialogue to be able to talk to each other because we're all human. We all love. We all have these.